Part 3. I didn't make the right choice. At times of trouble, we can be haunted by a searing, devastating thought that we made the wrong choice. We shouldn't tell ourselves that we haven't. We should learn to see and sympathize with the many solid reasons why we did so. We should graciously accept that we didn't stumble into error by chance. We made a mistake because we were very lonely, and this can be exceptionally hard to admit to. We weren't calmly choosing from dozens of candidates, as we might be when buying a fridge or a computer. We were struggling to fill an urgent need with whomever we could find. We would have needed to be utterly at peace with the prospect of many years of solitude in order to have any chance of choosing with the requisite pickiness and wisdom. But most of us hate being single, even more than we love the partner who eventually spares us from being so. We shouldn't kick ourselves. After a certain age, society makes singlehood unbearably unpleasant. Communal life starts to wither, and couples become too threatened by the independence of the single to invite them round very often. Celibate life becomes a nightmare. When sex was only available within marriage, people recognized that this led many types to settle down for the wrong reasons, to obtain something that was artificially restricted in society as a whole. They grasped that lovers would be free to make much better choices about who they united with, when they were not simply responding to a desperate desire for sex. We may have solved that issue, but we still haven't found a way of making companionship freely available, and so avoiding unfortunate unions formed under the unfair pressure of our vexing solitude. There is a psychological reason, too, for our poor choices. We feel actively drawn to the wrong people. We believe we seek happiness in love, but actually what we often seek is familiarity, which may complicate any plans we might have for happiness. We long to recreate in adult relationships some of the feelings we knew in childhood. It was as children that we first came to know and understand what love meant, but unfortunately, the lessons we picked up may not have been straightforward. The love we knew then may have come entwined with other less pleasant dynamics: being controlled, feeling humiliated, being abandoned, never communicating, in short, suffering. As adults, we may reject certain healthy candidates not because they are wrong, but because they are too well balanced, too mature, too understanding, too reliable, and their rightness feels unfamiliar and oppressive. We call these kinds of people boring or unsexy, and instead head towards candidates who, our unconscious tells us, will frustrate us in familiar ways. We make mistakes because we don't associate being loved with feeling satisfied. Knowing that we don't choose our partners freely from either a psychological or practical point of view helps to dampen our anger with those we've ended up with. We weren't merely stupid, we were constrained, as much by the difficulty of finding anyone as by the warts in our own nature. We can be reassured that being with the wrong person was profoundly necessary for us. It was the price we needed to pay for being in a relationship at all.